Hello, I'm Suzanne Yates, and today I'm going to show you some exercises for the linking vessels. This is the pair with the stepping vessels, and this one starts more first with a connection with the heaven, and it's more about creating spaciousness in the body and being open to more of a spacious quality, and even imagining our being like a bird's, and our arms are like wings, and we'll end with a little bit of flying. So that's the girdle vessel, the linking vessels. And this light and spacious quality, that's what you're looking for. And the main areas that we work with is first connecting with this light, but what happens is we can get tightness coming in the body. It's very linked in with tissue, key areas of tissue, the inside and the outside of the legs in the muscles, the hips and pelvis, especially more the glutes and the buttock area. That tends to become more contracted. So that's an area we want to try and find space in as we do this exercise. The other area that tends to become contracted is the shoulders and the neck. So that's the other area with our wings to get some spaciousness. So while I'm talking you through this, try and notice how these areas are in your body. And the area that tends to be a bit more lax and needs a bit more gathering is the abdomen. So as we go through this exercise, feel this like cloth in your body, and you're wanting either to bring a bit of space and open it up or gather in. And the idea of the linking is, it's the way we hold memory in our tissue. And we create this memory over time as we weave within our body, we do gestures. That's why the flying, imagine more like a bird. So there's freedom, because often we do very limited, repetitive gestures, and that's when we build up contraction in the muscle or emptiness in the muscle. So let's start with a connection with space, opening your arms, and opening your heart. It also relates to the heart. The heart is the Shen, opening up to space. You might want to close your eyes and just feel this openness of the heart, but that is supported by a slight drawing down of the pelvis to make sure that the area in the back, the gate of life, second and third lumbar vertebrae, is open, and that will help to release any tension in the pelvis. So support from the lower back to open the heart, open the eyes, and come into connection with space. Just breathing slowly out and in and feeling the space around you. Perhaps there's sun, like for me. You might not be able to open your eyes, but feel that space outside you, maybe the wind blowing. And then feel that space coming inside you so that you are able to hold up your arms in a very relaxed way. You're feeling a bit like a bird with your heart opening. And then you can draw this spacious quality, gather it into your body over your heart. The regulating points for these vessels are just inside the wrist fold in the middle and the outside, about 3 fingers. Some of you may know these points, heart protector 6 and triple heater 5. In fact, we want to focus on that area when we do the movement of the wings, but it extends into the palm, bringing the palm in front of the heart and standing, perhaps softening the knees, allowing the spine to lengthen with the in-breath. And a nice slow deep out breath, engaging the abdominal muscles and the pelvic floor, core connections with these vessels. And then we'll feel this opening as you breathe in, opening your wings, and then gathering the space back into your body. Breathing in, maybe coming up onto your toes to feel that lightness of connection with the earth. Breathing in and breathing out, just softening in the body, feeling the movement through your whole body of space, a light connection with the earth. And then just to connect with these different areas I was telling you about, take that openness and just curl over, connect lightly with the earth without touching, and then feel whether you want to draw up the inside and front of the body or more the outside and back. Just draw in front of the body to the heart, to the throat, to the brain, and opening into the space. And then gathering that spacious energy into the body. This time you might want to do the back and the sides coming down, or you might want to do the front coming down and come up the side. So just explore those movements of opening into space and then gathering in to the brain, the heart, maybe going down the outside, gathering that space and bringing it up the inside, or maybe going down the inside and gathering that spacious quality back up the outside. These are all the vessels have a dual nature. There's both a downward movement and an upward movement. So feel that spaciousness, spiraling quality. Could be more the brain you want to open up, or more the heart and opening the wings this way. So just explore that for a moment or two longer, and you can go into other fluid movements that you feel drawn to doing. The main focus is opening into space and then bringing that space into your body. You might even just stay with the legs for a while, or stay with the pelvis for a while. And then we'll go into now the quality of more spiraling. So this one, we still want to keep that lightness in the upper body and a lightness in the feet, and just take it more into a spiraling kind of a movement. If your arms feel heavy, then you could just have them more spiraling around your body. If you're comfortable to have them up, then really feel that spiraling into the space. But just be aware, for some of us, it can be too much to just focus on this movement up into space. So if at any point you feel a bit dizzy or giddy and it's too much, bring your arms down and perhaps focus more on the movement in the lower part of the body, which is also part of the vessel. So the thing is, the regulating points are not directly on the pathway, they're in the arms, and the postnatal pathway is really from the feet coming up, but there is this movement coming back to the centre. So whichever of those movements you are doing, gradually come now to the centre, because I want you to start to feel some key points on these vessels. So it does pass through the legs. We've been stimulating the legs, but it draws it up to the hips and pelvis. This is a core part of this vessel. Lots of points and areas in the upper body. So hands on your hips and feel that spiraling movement. Fingers at the front, thumbs at the back. Try to feel into the muscles. There is a point here, gallbladder 29, but it's just really where you feel drawn. Because here we're working with the yin, the front, and also the side, the yang. So just feel how, with this spiraling movement, you might be able to get a little bit more fluidity within the muscles of the buttocks, and whatever movement you feel drawn to. It could be more of a, even not necessarily a figure of 8 on its side, but just whatever spiraling you feel you want to do in the hips and the pelvis. And also finding your rhythm. That's very important. It's your body, it's your cloth, it's your tissue. What's the rhythm that feels helpful and appropriate for you in this moment? So this is a lot the yang parts of the vessel. we can now connect a bit more with the yin, the inside, the abdomen, which is very linked to this tightness in the buttocks. There's often lack of tone in the abdomen, in the yin. It's like the cloth is overstretched, is tired. So here we can gather, we cross our hands, our fingers. There's key points on the lateral border of the recti muscle, the six pack. But just cupping where you feel, bringing your hands across. You might want to continue with the spiraling, or you may feel that actually no, I want to have a more centering, gathering quality here. That is also the nature of this area of the vessel. It's to really bring it back to the midline, this midline of the front and the back of the body. So with the out breath, drawing gradually in, and you might get a little bit more stability here and feel your core strength gathering. From here, we'll keep with the yin and this core gathering to come into the center, just below, just at the base of the throat on the clavicle. And you can just feel a drawing, a gathering, which maybe you feel some opening in the chest, but a gathering back into the center and into the space. And then it's up to you if you want to feel more that gathering in or more an opening out into space. Then we come a bit more to the yang. We're going to prepare our wings for flying. So here we cross our arms. This also can be an alternative way if you didn't like the spiraling. You can have your arms crossed over so that your hand can reach onto the deltoid muscles, like our kind of epaulets. We've got shoulder and muscles here, and they help us protect. It's a lot triple heater and large intestine for those who know that, but we're really connecting with the muscle, the quality of the muscle. Does it feel tighter on one side than the other? And this position of the arms is very much the triple heater, heart protector energy, our protection, our cloak, how do we look after ourselves and present ourselves to the world. So here you could perhaps massage these muscles and feel how you can soften and loosen. There's often a lot of protection and tightening. Or you could hold with your fingers and gather in and release any tightness here. And there's also top of the shoulder, the trapezius muscle, some important points here, and also an area that tends to become more contracted. So again, with your fingers, you might want to massage, you might want to give some downward pressure here. Just feeling in to what feels good for you to do. And then maybe opening up, being aware of the side of your head as you turn, having your arms in this position, hooking where feels comfortable or where feels appropriate on your occiput, but often it is more the side, the lateral aspect, gallbladder 20 for those of you who know it, just pivoting around. If you don't know the points, please don't worry, it's really about feeling in your body what you need to do. So it's much more than just points. Feel this spiraling, and then we're going to gather back into the center from this time the back of the head. So just right in the center of the back of the head, hooking under your occiput, your skull. With the other hand, you could repeat the position we had in the center of the neck. But if that feels like it's drawing up too much, you can have one hand on the center of the abdomen, or if you prefer, it could be on the lower back. The pathway does gather energy back to the lower back. So feel into what your body needs to do to bring this drawing in connection for a moment. This point at the front is called the celestial pathway. And both of these windows of heaven points opening into the space. So then we can open into the space. And now it's the free form. I'll just give you some ideas of really now seeing how you can draw up from the earth, take this energy through the hips, the pelvis, the heart, the shoulders, into your arms, and it's like you're a bird flying, flapping your wings. Important to alternate if you're doing it in this more static position with one foot on the earth, going down and up. But you could also alternate the wings, or even maybe more lifting the leg, moving around like a bird, and just going into whatever movement you feel drawn to, whatever rhythm of the bird flying, opening into space, gathering in. Maybe you're more away from the earth, maybe you're closer to the earth. Really just feel how you want to move. Doing for as long as you want, and then to end we'll just flap our wings and gather back in, maybe even drawing in a little, feeling, closing the eyes, feeling more inwards, the space within the body, feeling this lighter connection to earth. One of the points on the yin is called the guest house. It's about how we can also, how can we invite the space and beings sharing the space with us into our space, into our body. And the bird resting and going inwards. So thank you for sharing this time with me, and I hope that gives you some feeling of what the linking vessels are all about.